Hello again, everyone. Wow, I feel quite disturbed after that reading on Lilibet and where she is. I feel really disturbed by the last card. Go and look. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go and watch that video. It's very short, but yeah, quite disturbing at the end. So while I'm doing these readings this morning, I want to follow up on one of the questions that came out. Not that last issue, but the question that I mentioned in the video about welfare checks in Montecito that have allegedly recently been carried out. I have to say again that these tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. They're my opinions. Please go and do your own research, reach your own conclusions. And I again want to say that I'm doing these readings because I feel compelled to. I'm not doing them for my personal desire to grow a YouTube channel. I'm doing them because I'm literally feeling called very powerfully to come and sit at this table and do these readings. That in fact, to the extent that it's getting in the way of other things that I should be doing in my own life. So I just want to say that, and I think this is the situation that's going on has reached some kind of critical mass, and that very powerful things are going on at the moment. One more shuffle. Sorry that we've taken so long. Yeah, we've got our shuffle now. Half the deck is on the floor, and what flew out is curiously the Queen of Pentacles and the Star. And I think that those cards speak very loudly to my previous reading that I was talking about at the beginning. And I'm not going to say anything more about that. Go watch the reading. So I have, as usual, designated very specific questions for each card. I'm just cutting the deck now. And so that we can hopefully get very clear answers to the questions, and I will clarify anything that needs clarifying. I'm using the Tarot Nova, and it's a very nice little deck, a little mini deck. It's very good for readings on children. I think very kind of naive drawings, and the underlying energy, the energy that's affecting everything at the moment in Montecito is the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. The Five of Pentacles is the card of isolation, lack, illness, being cast out from a family, being cast out from something very secure. So in the reverse, you can read it as being a real intensification of that vibe, or trying to get over that vibe. But anyway, either way you want to look at it, it's a very negative energy. It's an energy of despair almost, of real sense of everything being wrong in a situation, being very uncomfortable, very unpleasant. Resources not being available, love and care not being available. We're doing a reading on children and their welfare, and I was inspired to do this reading by a recent video by Bookworm 2, and I recommend highly that you go and watch her channel. She is the one that had this allegation, this rumor that welfare checks have been done in Montecito on the children, or at least on Archie. We're not sure that baby Lilibet is even there, but that's where this is coming from, and that's why I'm doing this reading. Okay, so not a good omen to start with. So what's the current vibe in Montecito in the light of these alleged welfare checks? What is the current vibe? And I get the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. There we go. Wheel of Fortune, but came out in the reverse, which means that everything is going wrong. Things are really turning against the two in Montecito in a very powerful way. It's major arcana. Things really couldn't be worse. this is a real bad moment in their lives, a shocking moment in their lives where things have got so bad that outside intervention is required, that the authorities allegedly have stepped in to investigate, have been called in to investigate what's going on. So really, really bad vibe, a feeling of reaching some kind of real low, of things really turning against them very, very badly. So vital question: were the welfare actually sent around? Welfare people sent around to the mansion in Montecito to check up on the children. And I get the Fool in reverse. And I'm going to say absolutely. The Fool in the upright is a very happy, positive card. We're off on a new adventure, an exciting new adventure with a clean slate. The Fool in the reverse is things going horribly wrong, being very foolish, literally, taking risks that you shouldn't be taking, just being reckless. In the case of children being involved, allegedly, again, I have to say, this means that really care is not being exercised. Abundant care isn't being exercised in this situation at all. And I don't want to say more about that, but you get the picture. Were they called by Doria? Was Doria the one who said, I'm very concerned? And the Six of Swords is the card that's come out. The Six of Cards in reverse, Six of Swords in reverse, I beg your pardon. I do think it was Doria. The Six of Swords in the upright is somebody escaping a very difficult situation. I'm off, I'm leaving my troubles behind. Off I go overseas, even often. Somebody in this situation feels very stuck in the situation. I would say Doria feels very stuck in this situation, very troubled by what is going on. She's always been a very silent character. None of us have ever really got to the bottom of who she is and what her role is in the situation. But it looks like her role in this situation has got so difficult that she felt compelled to go to the authorities. And again, this is allegedly for entertainment purposes, my opinion only. Was Thomas Markle involved in this decision? Did she call him? Did he call the welfare authorities? We get the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Wands in the upright is a dynamic, enthusiastic character. I'm off, I'm happy, I'm going on my travels, I'm very pleased with life, I've got lots of adventures to have ahead of me. In the reverse, he feels his adventures are over. He's very unhappy. He's probably very depressed. He's also not properly engaged in the situation around him. I'm going to have to clarify this card if we've got time, but it looks like if he was involved, he was involved reluctantly and in a kind of very background way, not directly. I would say that Doria was involved very directly. I don't think Thomas Markle was the one who actually contacted the welfare people directly. I think that he's in the background. He's in the background as a very unhappy, unfulfilled, low energy character who's just kind of hovering, waiting to see what happens. Another question that's vaguely associated with all of this is that Thomas Markle Jr. said a long, long time ago, when we all first heard about Meghan Markle, that she should not be left alone with children. It was a rather curious comment, and I want to know why he says that, why he said that. And I get the King of Cups. King of Cups is a male energy, is probably Thomas Markle Senior. Thomas Markle Senior is a water sign man. The King of Cups is a water sign man. I don't know what sign Thomas Markle Jr. is, but it's a very emotional card, and it possibly has something to do with Meghan's need to be the focus of attention of the King of Cups. That if there were other children around, she would need to be the center of attention, and whatever that meant, she would get to be the center of attention. I'm not getting cruelty in this card. I'm not getting vicious acts, dangerous acts, like I am with the Fool in reverse. That's dangerous acts. That's carelessness, recklessness. I'm not getting that here. I'm getting more, it's about attention. Daddy's girl. Daddy's girl needs to be the center of attention. What was the outcome of the welfare check? So we've got Thomas Markle out the way, Thomas Jr. and Thomas Sr. out of the way. Does look like it all came from Doria. What is the outcome? What was the outcome of this welfare check? And I get the Knight of Swords. Swift action. Something very potent was done very swiftly to deal with the situation. Whether it was that they came in very swiftly, you can see this knight is on this eagle, swooping down with his sword. They swooped in. They must have swooped in very suddenly, and hence the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. It was a real shock to the two at Montecito. They swooped in very abruptly, very suddenly, and did whatever they had to do. What did they do? It's just telling me that there was speed involved. There was very decisive action taken. What was the action? Does the tarot want to tell me what the action was? Just see if anything pops out before I close this reading. The Knight of Swords is obviously a communication card as well, so maybe they were issued with some form of document. I'm getting the Chariot. Very interestingly, the Chariot. It's almost as if a child was removed very swiftly, that a child was removed from their care. Rather chilling, given that I got the Chariot in the baby Lilibet read, that she's on her way to them. I'm going to ask another question, a follow-up question on that. Will this welfare check affect the family court proceedings? Will it affect the delivery of Lilibet Diana to them? Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. We don't know whether there are family court proceedings going on about Lilibet Diana, but I want to know whether this welfare check will have any consequences for the delivery of the new baby to the mansion in Montecito. Will it have any consequences for that journey that the baby is on? I'm trying to shuffle away from the camera, from the mic as much as possible. Nothing's coming out. Maybe Tarot doesn't want to speak up. Something's come out. Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of rejection, of saying no to something. In this case, it's avoiding temptation, but it's usually avoiding an offer. A cup is offered and the cup is rejected. So it's looking like it may, that in fact at the 11th hour, there may be a no. You don't get that child. The birth mother says no. The family court proceedings go against them. Very interesting. That the person in this card is usually upset about the outcome of that offer being declined. They are depressed. They feel very low energy. It's not a sorrow. It's not heartbreak. Obviously, if they never had the child, if the child is just an idea to them at the moment, they haven't bonded with this child, it's not that level of upset for them. It's more just, oh damn, our plans have gone wrong. Now what are we going to do? That's an opportunity that has disappeared from us that we were expecting. We were anticipating going in our favor. So it does look like something may happen to affect that family court proceeding. That's where I'm going to leave it for now. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'll see you on the next one.